JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 23rd of March 2021. So yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday's afternoon session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channels, which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yeah, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. So now then, guys, jumping into the charts, the first one I want to pick up here is the German index DAX, and as you can see that initially we did have that little drop here below this, below the previous day low. However, as I said, we would like to see that daily candle staying below it, and this is exactly the reason why. So for the second day in a row, we're seeing this move lower, breaking the previous day low, but by the end of the day, it's still kind of pushing it back above it. So now what I'm keeping an eye on here, of course, is this excuse me, guys, this 14,670 territory. So far, everything is kind of working out here nicely for the buyers. The index is pushing above it. However, can we stay above this area? Well, we'll just have to wait and see, because if we do stay above this area, then yes, this increases the chances for a possible move further north, potentially maybe even targeting the all-time high, which is currently near the 14,804 territory, so approximately around there. And then we'll take it from there. But again, guys, keep your eyes on this. Keep your eyes on these two levels. But for now, the main focus, of course, is on this 14,670 zone. Now, jumping into Nasdaq 100, and here the index is pushing higher again. Now, yesterday when I talked about Nasdaq 100, I said that the index might continue kind of oscillating around the 21-day EMA for a while, but there are a few levels and a few kind of technical patterns that we could keep an eye on. And so the first one, of course, is this little range where the price is currently trading in, and that's roughly between the 12,758 territory and the 13,300 zone. You can see that yes, the on the positive note is the fact that the price is pushing above that 21-day EMA, and yesterday it stayed above it. However, currently the holdup is occurring near this downside line drawn from the high of the 16th of February. So, which means that in a way, if this downside line continues to provide resistance, then we might see another slide back down here. However, if that gets broken, then of course all eyes then are on the 13,300 zone, which currently could be seen also as a potential. But again, this is a potential inverted head and shoulders pattern right here. But again, that's too early to talk about that because we are still trading below this downside line. Yes, there is an indication that we could go for higher levels, but again, some obstacles here on the way higher are still present. So like the first one is this downside line, which so far is kind of providing good resistance. So yeah, guys, keep your eyes on that. Let's see how this is going to play out. But if suddenly we get a break through this downside line, then all eyes are on this 13,300 level. And this is where I'm going to still wait. Probably in either way, I'm going to wait for a violation of this hurdle first before, let's say, I could consider some higher areas. But if this downside line provides resistance, yep, another slide here lower could be possible. But then I would, in order to consider the upside, I would, of course, like to wait for, let me just put an arrow here for our future reference, but I would like to wait for a drop below this 12,758 territory. DXY very quickly on this. So dollar index is once again pushing above this 92 territory. Can it stay above it? Well, again, we'll just have to wait and see, because for the past kind of 2 trading sessions here, we had a strong move above this area, but by the end of the day, it kind of drifted back down. So we're not excluding the same kind of situation happening here again. But if this daily candle remains above this area, then of course all eyes are going to be on the downside resistance line taken from the high of the 25th of September. Now jumping into gold, so drifting back down, so in a way everything's still in line with the idea that I've mentioned previously. So far, the 21-day EMA is doing its job. It's providing good resistance. However, as I mentioned this morning, if you watched my traders espresso, in order to go for the downside, I need to see a drop below this 1719 level, and then we could go for slightly lower areas. But excuse me, for the upside, we need to see a push above the 1760 territory in order to consider, again, a push higher, at least in the short run. Either way, we're still kind of trading between these two lines here, a downside one and an upside one. But yeah, that's why I'm not going to drag this one way too much either way in each direction. I'm just going to aim for slightly kind of, let's say, closer levels. But breaks through these areas are required. WTI oil, very quickly on this. So far, everything's working according to the plan. Yesterday, I spoke about this commodity, and I said that we may see a push higher. And if this area here, then the 62 territory, together with the 21-day EMA, provides good resistance, then yep, another slide could be possible. And yep, this is what we got. So basically, it worked out perfectly. We managed to reach some of these levels here, most importantly the 59.27 territory, and my next target was this 58.25, which we just fell shy by a few pips, a few points from reaching. Still kind of aiming for that area, to be honest, and aiming for this upside support line taken from the low of the 20th of April of last year, and then yes, of course, we'll take it from there. For now, like I said, I'm not dragging this one way too much to the downside, because I want to see if this upside line will provide support once again. Ethereum, very quickly on this, so drifting lower. It drifted lower yesterday. Today we're seeing a bit of a corrective move higher, but again, this 1725 territory is providing kind of a bit of resistance. So yeah, let's see if it can continue doing that. If it can, then this idea that I've talked about recently, that if it drops below this 1725 zone, then my next target is the 1666 level, or the this upside support line drawn from the low of the 23rd of December. Still, that idea is valid, although we are seeing a nice little correction here to the upside. But yep, because it might still find resistance here, and if it does, then yep, another slide here could be possible towards this upside line, and then maybe a nice rebound and a push back up could be a scenario that we could consider. But again, for now, from the very, very short-term perspective, if the 1725 territory continues to provide resistance, I'm aiming for this upside line. Ripple. Now this is a slightly different story here. Ripple is the gainer today, and yep, it's popping nicely to the upside. So, but most importantly, let me just probably clear up some lines here, and let me just adjust a few levels. Now, first of all, The area that I'm keeping an eye on here for the upside is around this 0.5810 zone. So as you can see, it kind of did act as a good area of resistance, although we had a few overshoots here, but overall the kind of the daily candle stayed below it. And the fact that we pushed above this downside line, of course, creates this more of a positive atmosphere here in the near term. But probably I would like to see that daily candle maybe staying above this area, above the 0.5810, in order to get a little bit more excited with the upside, with further upside. And for further upside, my next target is the 0.6465 territory, roughly around here. That's what I'm going to be aiming for. If that's let's say not enough for the buyers, then of course the next target is the highest point of February near the 0.7575 level, and then we'll take it from there. For the downside, for me to consider lower areas, well, I would prefer to, let me just adjust some of these levels here. Well, I would prefer to see a drop below this hurdle, the 0.4949 level, approximately around here. So the 0.4949 could be an interesting one to watch, because in a way, depending on how this is going to shape up, we could see maybe a drop below the 21-day EMA as well. So yeah, so a nice good drop below the 0.4949 could also lead to a drop below the 21-day EMA, and then yep, this is where we could start then aiming for that 100-day EMA or even the 200-day EMA. But for now, all eyes are on this 0.5810 zone. Jumping into a few pairs, quick update on AUD and ZD. This is something that I've mentioned this morning, guys, and yep, everything's working out according to the plan. So the idea was that if we get well, first of all, we got the break. We were in the morning, we were still hanging somewhere around here, but I said that as long as it stays above this 1.0843 territory, then my next target is the 1.0895 level or the 1.0936, which is marked by the highest point of September of last year. So so far, I mean, so good. Everything's moving in the direction of that level. And then, yep, I'll take it from there. If we get a test of it, my question here is, can we push further north? I mean, we might even see an overshoot here. So we could see, yes, we could see easily an overshoot. But then it will be interesting to see if we can actually get back below this area. Well, so far, basically, what can I say here is that the idea is working out well. I'll pick up on this pair tomorrow just to see where everything is at. But again, it's a real feast today for the bulls. GBP JPY. So this one is moving nicely to the downside. This is what I said to you this morning, that as long as it stays below this 150.79 territory, my aim is to the downside towards this upside support line taken from the low the 21st of December of last year. And now I'm gonna aim for that. I'm not gonna look at any levels as of yet. I just want to see if, first of all, we will remain below the 21-day EMA today. If we will, then my next target is this upside line. If we don't, this is where I'm going to take a bit of a neutral stand, because for me, let's say to consider maybe a move back up, I would need to see at least a push back above the 150.79, and then I will reevaluate everything again. USD CAD, very quickly on this. So of course oil is dropping, and we see the USD CAD kind of pushing higher. And most important, we've reached the 21-day EMA and this downside line, which once again provided good resistance together with this 1.2590 level. So if you remember this morning, I said that in order for me to get a little bit more excited with the upside, I need to see a push above this 1.2590 territory. If I don't get that, sticking to kind of a probably cautiously bearish even approach, because if this downside line provides resistance and the pair struggles to stay above the 1.2590 territory, then yep, it could result in another slide easily. So that's why this idea is not off the table yet, guys, so be very careful. Quick update on USD TRY. So everything's kind of working here nicely for the bulls. The pair drifted back above this 7.78 territory. So yep, as I said, if it trades above this area, then there is a good chance for us to see this pair moving towards the 8.05 level or even above that. So again, as long as it stays above this hurdle, let me just probably highlight that for our future reference. Let me just put it right here. If it stays above this hurdle, this area, then yep, my target is still the upside and still some of these levels here. And most importantly, the first one is this 8.05 level. Euro GBP. So continues to trade above this hurdle, this 0.8596, or let's round it up to the 0.86 territory. It continues to trade above it. Did have a push higher today, did have a decent result here and moved above the previous day high, but it drifted quickly back down below it. So of course this is where it shows that it's not as strong as we thought maybe it could be. However, to support the upside, it still is balancing above the 0.86 zone. If it falls below it, that's where we will aim for the downside maybe again, but probably just to reiterate that for the downside I need to see it drop below this area, this hurdle right here, the 0.8540 zone, and then yes, we could go for slightly lower levels. Let me just finish this arrow somehow. Oh, there we go. And then yes, we could go for lower areas, but at the moment it's a bit of a tricky one. However, I'm a little bit cautiously bullish, I would say, on this one, but I need to see another push above this 0.8627 territory, 28 zone, in order to get a little bit more excited with the upside. And finally, EURUSD. So the pair is drifting back down here, falling below the 1.18880 zone. Can it stay below it? Well, we'll just have to wait and see, but this is the first kind of step for kind of, let's say, lower areas. But we need that daily candle to remain below this area, because below this hurdle, because we don't want to see the same scenario of the past kind of 2 trading sessions here, where we just had false breakouts and the pair then drifted back up. So yeah, be very careful. For now, yes, we are leaning a little bit more towards the downside on this one, but if the pair stays below this area, then yes, I'll aim for the 200-day EMA or even below that. But if it travels back inside it, I'm neutral, because again, it could easily reverse back up here and make its way towards this 1.1990 level. For the upside, that's the break of which I need to see in order to go for some higher levels. So guys, that's it for this session. So yeah, I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate your views, your likes, guys, really do. I hope, like as I said, if you found this useful. If you want to catch my video tomorrow morning, as always, my Trader's Espresso, 7 o'clock GMT time. Just a quick update as well. There won't be any Trader's Espresso or tea time on Thursday and Friday, but there will be tomorrow. Yep, we'll have both. But like I said, just not on Thursday and Friday. After that, we'll just resume on Monday. But again, tomorrow, join me, yep, as normal. And yeah, we'll go from there. So have a wonderful day, evening, or whatever, wherever you are, guys. Yeah, I'll see you later. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.